Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check. Mic check, waifu, King Teliano. Is that you?
Spring is sprung.
This is episode 345 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast, where you get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, the After Stories, where you can get access to the pre-show, which goes live 2 days before this episode goes live. Shout out to the Patreon producers, Explicitly, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, Fear, Semi Sensei, Frozen, T Money Fingers, Dad Needs to Talk. Check out Dad Needs to Talk Podcast, Christian, The Archivist, All for One, Matt, Rob, Stone, Matthew H. the Great, and last but certainly not least, TK Does Karate. Thank you so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. I have TKs preloaded, but this time I was working on my Go XLR. But it's more of the story. We're ready to get this episode started. Mic Check Waifu is the anime podcast that's brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Make sure you like the video if you're watching on YouTube. You rate us on all podcast services wherever you're watching, and you also just leave us nice reviews wherever you're listening. Don't even matter. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means the world to us. Okay, as Mic Check Waifu normally is a seasonal podcast where we discuss seasonal anime. As we start off every episode, we start off with episode of the week this week. So tell, with the end of the winter season ended and the start of the spring, what is your episode of the week this week?
Actually, it's kind of a little bit of a struggle. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is, because I kind of want to force you to pick just the end of the season episode. And then we just talk. We just talk new stuff. Season? Yeah, we talk new stuff.
Okay,
later.
For us.
Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, because I think we should keep it a surprise as to what our favorite this week was. So for me, can I say Hell's Paradise? Because I know it was last week that I finished, but I finished it this week, and that was my favorite episode for the shows that I finished.
Okay,
is that okay? Is that allowed?
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll let it wrap.
That shit was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna just list out what we got going this week. So this week is a big week. This week is the start of the spring. Now we still have. Next week is like the spring is pretty much fully here, like virtually 100%, right? Would you say?
Yeah, I think it's only like maybe a couple shows that's not releasing next week. Let me see.
Yeah.
No, I think everything is releasing next week.
Except for one that I see. And that'll probably, no, because I think that'll make it on Sunday, I think. I want this, or no, that's Monday. I want this end game. I want to end this game, this love game.
Oh. Yeah,
I think that's the only one.
That's the week, the only one. Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, we got a lot of like stuff that started as well as stuff that finished. So we're going to start off probably with stuff that finished and then go into the stuff that started. And then following that, in the, I guess you'd call it the latter half of the show, we have a review or end of the season review, which we do every single season, which is Journal with Witch. So that's going to be towards the back half of the show because we're going to do full spoilers and full discussions on that. But if you would do me the honors before we get to that and let me read a comment from one of our producers and a big contributor to the show.
All right.
Let me go to the comment here. You all, I hate.
Who is this comment from? Which producer?
This comment is going to be from Rob Stone. I don't know why it's not showing up in my app. I guess I gotta. How about in? immediately.
Robertius Stonius.
Robertius Stonius. It was based off, because last week what we touched on how the season went as far as like changes that we did during the show. And things like that. Sorry, I'm going through our YouTube here. God, YouTube makes stuff so difficult sometimes. I can't stand it.
It is sometimes it's like jumbled and out of order.
Yeah, very cumbersome for some reason. There it is. See comments. It's not showing up anything. What in the hell?
Was it on Patreon?
No, it was on definitely on YouTube. I see it says 3 comments here, but no comments can be found.
You might have to check the
video itself, probably. Hold on. Yeah, they're not there for some reason. I don't know why.
What's the YouTube app? YouTube Studio. Yeah.
Yeah, I checked that too. What the? It says 3 comments and none of them are showing up. I don't know if it's my browser or what's going on.
No, it definitely says 3 comments and there's nothing there. But
YouTube is literally taking one. Okay, well, so much for that idea. But basically, his comments was stated along the lines of, we should go back to using, doing the, fuck. It's so hard to read it without having a comment. We should go back to doing the spoiler talk because that is the strength of our show. And he mentioned that that's what he liked about the show because it was a good way of discussing stuff week to week. And he talked about how the penultimate of last week's episode was our conversation on in the clear moonlit dust, because it would have been better for us to talk about it weekly during the spoiler episode, just see how our reactions are at that time. And like that just being the kind of ingredient to the show that he loves so much. So I think this season we bring back spoiler talk, and I think it's going to be very easy to do with this season full of like sequel seasons that we could bring that conversation to. And he also brought his grades for the end of the season, which is unfortunate that I can't read it because YouTube is being strange.
It is big, man. Because
his grades were awesome. He gave good grades, and I was going to lead into the season, but I digress. But he said we should just bring that back, the spoiler talk, and I agree. And his feedback has always done nothing but helped us. I think it'd be awesome to do that. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
Sounds perfect to me.
All right, Tail. Let's talk about some shows that wrapped. Fire Force. How do you want to touch that?
Let's just dive right into it.
Okay.
Let's not beat around the bush.
So Fire Force ended in like the best way possible to me, in my personal opinion. Can we go into spoilers here?
I mean, it's
kind of tough, right?
I think we should, and I only said this because I don't know. I don't know if we should. I guess I feel like we should.
Yeah, me too. All right, spoilers for Fire Force.
A big finale.
End of the season. It was a big finale for the season 3. It's the end of the series in its whole. As y'all know, it was like one of our favorite series during this time of the podcast, minus the first half of season 3. But we're going to spoil season 3 of Fire Force right now. Come back in about 10, 15 minutes. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. I just want to say that somebody who knew nothing, we didn't read Fire Force, but somebody who knew nothing about it, the way it ultimately built up to this climax and the way it ended and led to what would become Soul Eater, fucking brilliant.
Yes.
It just makes Soul Eater so much worse for me, though, unfortunately. Because of the quality of what Fire Force was turning into, like, how do you go from that to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just feel, the juxtaposition of it is just off. And I think it's because they didn't follow the manga when they did the show. So the show could be better if it followed the manga. I don't know.
Here's the thing. is that it could just be I don't think this is a weird statement. It could be that Fire Force is so good because it had an end goal of rectifying or proving what Soul Leader is, right? And I feel like with knowing what the end goal was, Fire Force was just that much better for it.
Yeah. That's true. When you have a story that you're going into, it's easier to almost easier to write for. But
and I think that's also like what feels like the strong suit for shows like Fire Force, not Fire Force, Frieren, is that the show just feels like there's so much, like they already have the end goal in mind. They already have the final,
you mentioned that before,
plan, and that's why it's so good. But I don't say it to say that because I don't necessarily think Soul Eater is bad. I just think that it does not hold up after seeing Fire Force.
No, it's not
and I'll say the whole ending of it, a lot of the ending of it does feel like, what is happening here? This is thrown together, slapped together.
It's pretty bad, yeah, in that respect. There's maybe one arc in Soul Eater that's great, and that's the very beginning. And the rest of it is piss poor execution.
The continuity gets wobbly.
Yeah.
And is extremely wobbly at a lot of points. But I feel like how they explained everything in the end of Fire Force with wanting to be closer, wanting to make death more important, but also like less important at the same time.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're more closely related to this experience than you've ever been before.
Right.
And that kind of does change the value of life. And even like how some of these characters view it, right? Like, I don't like Inca. I don't think we've liked Inca since her inception.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But her philosophy on saying the value of life has changed and how she wanted to cement herself in life, just the feeling of wanting to still be important after passing, I feel like is extremely relatable.
Yeah.
For many people, that's why humanity kind of moves forward in the way it does.
In a way, what Fire Force does so well is the way it incorporates real life elements into this anime that is so poignant and so stories based off the Christian Bible and the virgin births and just everything that they brought into like Fire Force itself to make it feel heavier, and then it goes into something that then turns into what it becomes like at the end. Like, it's not super power of friendshipy. While it's there, absolutely there. Unlike Soul Eater, it does it so elegantly because it's so important that the connections that you have with people help validate, some of their despair or their beliefs, or it's just all of it that was just put together when it comes to the end. It was so beautifully done. I'm like, man, this is how you do it.
And I agree, and I'll even go as far as like, because I don't think this is like a super original ending. I'm not saying like
it's not for sure
that to be negative, but the idea that humans need despair, life needs despair in order to feel human, in order to really enjoy it. There needs to be something to worry about. But it really is like the resolution that humanity is just gonna find a way. Because that's what we do. We find a way throughout all this darkness and everything like that.
Yep.
And, our antagonist in the end ends up looking godly, saintly, like you said, versus Shinra committing to his soul resonance with his brother and his mother, which is, that was a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
The soul resonance. And I remember when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, that was so cool. Because mind you, the internet be spoiler heavy. I've seen this Shinra form.
Oh, thank goodness I didn't.
I didn't know what it was because every time I saw something about Fire Force, I just skip it because I'm like, nope, y'all not about to ruin my day. Y'all not about to ruin my day. I think it was really cool what it represents. It's like, you're not gonna change my hopes for the future, regardless of what the actual outcome may be, regardless of what all the different outcomes we can see. He kept saying, oh no, this I had to come back so many times to change it and get to this place we're in right now. Just to get here right now, he said something almost like 400 times. Yeah. Because like that makes sense. Like sometimes you got to try something, run into a wall 400 times before it actually works.
Yeah.
And find a way forward. That's what hope. That's what Shinra was supposed to represent.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that like it's unironically, no pun intended, it's the polar opposites too, right? Like how he's the devil and she was essentially the angel, and the angel was trying to end the world while the devil was trying to save it. It's all like these things that are just, you don't even think about it until you just take a step back and look at like, this is all crazy, tactfully done. And I don't know how you top it. Now, because I don't want to spend too much time on the spoilers, let's skip to the end. And it says, next is Soul World. Do you think that's going to be a remake of Soul Eater following the manga? Or do you think that's just going to be the in-between?
I think it, and here's my thing, is that as Fire Force is a prequel, I think that they know people want more Soul Eater, right? I don't think it's a bad idea, instead of jumping right into Soul Eater, to let us cook with like a prequel Soul Eater, the Soul World, like getting into what does this world look like before Soul Eater actually happens. Because yes, Fire Force is before Soul Eater happens, but Soul World is like, hey, this is newly established. This is 27 years into the future with Shinra and everybody else. This is what it looks like. And
then it can lead to a Soul Eater remake. I just want a remake so bad because the potential.
I know you do, and I agree. I think a remake would be amazing, but I think all they need is like one season of Soul World, and then it's boom. Now we're at Soul Eater. Because like that's just establishing the lore, establishing what's happening, establishing that this is the actual connections here.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it so much. It's definitely one of my favorite shonens. I do want to say that Hell's Paradise is I think up there with it. Because what we just got at the end of this fucking final season this season 2.
Yeah. What did you think about that, brother?
Art, man. Pure art. It's just beautiful. It is just, Hell's Paradise ended tastefully to where it takes you, it supplants like the end of that arc, and then it leads to the next one so well done, and then it ends at that like okay, this is what's about to happen, and then you see all the who's fighting who and what's what, and I don't want to go into spoilers in that one because that's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't either.
But I thought that was extremely special the way it did that, and I cannot wait, because if this serves me right and is my perfect, I guess entitled end to Hell's Paradise, this next season will be the last season, a nice 12, 13 episode season to wrap it all up and to get a final climax of it and just be done with it. And I think that'd be brilliant with what's going on now. We're just wrapping it up with one more season and being done. And I think it's going to be super fucking dope. And it's going to be another one of those classic legendary series that just is like Fire Force in this case, where it's like 3 seasons of pure perfection. Well, minus the first half. Quick and simple. And then move on. And that's it. And I would love that. Like something you can go back to and kind of binge through and enjoy. I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, keep it quick, concise. Get to that final point and then get out. You didn't overstay your welcome.
Yes.
Hell's Paradise is definitely a show that, and mind you, I know a couple people who don't like it. I just think they're crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree. Yeah. There's nothing to not like. Even objectively, it's hard to not like it, to be honest. Yeah. I do want to say
they just playing in my face.
It gotta be. Chitose and Ramanu Bado wrapped up with all 3 episodes.
I just saw that too.
Yeah.
And I did not watch it, but I gotta go back and watch that because
perfectly fine. I am going to say it ended just as great as it started. And the conversation me and Crystal had was awesome about how he felt about where it was going. So I think check that out as soon as you can. It was great. I'm so mad at these comments on YouTube aren't working. I don't know why. So stressful. Anyway, Was that the only things that wrapped? It was. I feel like it was more, wasn't it?
No, that should have been it.
Damn, it really
literally
was.
just about everything else wrapped.
Yeah, right before that, week before that. You're right.
Because technically Hell's Paradise was already done before that. Anything else that didn't wrap should be a dub.
True. Yeah, Into the Moonlight Heart was going to end tomorrow, which was for me. So I'm going to be able to talk about that the following week. All right, that's it. Cool, that's not too bad. Okay. So now let's start off with the new season. Some stuff came out. And then as we go, you could talk about which one of these newer shows would be your episode of the week. But if you don't mind, I would like to start with something that returned that I'm super happy with. And I kind of want to start off with all the returning ones first to get them out the way. And all of them, I believe it was only a few. Yeah, there was only a few. So let's start off with all the returning ones first. And I'm going to start off with Dr.Stone. I love it, man. I'm so glad this is back and this is simul-dubbed again. Because it was just fun. It was a very pleasant episode to get right back into things. I love it when they do a core break and they come back with a pseudo recap of everything that they got going on. And they kind of they are speed running a lot of shit. But at this point, you just need to. You just need to get to where we need to get to so we can get to the climax of this thing. And I think it's great. It's great to be with these characters again.
Dr. Stone stressed me out, bro.
Why you say that?
Cause man, it's like it's the logic and the actual thought of what would that feel like in this time, right? You know what I mean? It's like
it don't make any sense. I'm gonna be real with you anymore.
Well, yes, right. It don't really make sense, but it's still like if you were in this scenario and you heard that Morse code, it would literally probably feel like that. You know what I mean? Like almost like the gravity just increased. Like, yo,
True.
It is a really cool, interesting kind of concept because obviously this is not a real scenario, but for the context of the show, it is a very almost like it's a kick in the it's a fire under the tail.
Yeah, and what I was referring to when I said that, it's not necessarily the Morse code part because I thought that was cool, and that was probably the only part that didn't feel as
emphasis.
Yeah, exactly. That had the emphasis. The rest of it was just fucking. It was unfathomably unbelievable. Like we're building a new ship, we got this fucking rocket engine, like all that in a span of how long they say? What was it? 10 months or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we don't feel an ounce of that 10 months, which is fine. I get it. We're just trying to move the story forward at this point now because we understand that these guys know science. We understand that they know how to create stuff. We understand that they know how to move. It was fucking, nothing felt like it moved. It felt like we all did this in one day and it just felt weird. But other than that, once you look past that, once I, take a step back, I'm like, this is just fucking an anime that's going to be a little ridiculous to kind of just push the point forward. It's great. It is great. All right. Moving on. Classroom of the Elite dropped 4 episodes.
Yes.
For season 4. And no spoilers. And they were fucking brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. This show might be one of my favorites. And truly.
Here's my thing with Classroom of the Elite. Like, why didn't they give me a warning they was dropping 4 episodes? Did they tell everybody they was dropping 4 episodes?
They did not. I didn't see it anywhere. I just saw it. What the fuck?
I wasn't ready, right?
I'm glad they did
this. Yeah, no, 100%. When I saw that they dropped 4 episodes, I was like, oh, I know what I'm getting myself into when I turn this on.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm getting myself into when I turn this on. And I turned it on.
And didn't each episode for like 10 minutes?
Very happy. Very happy.
They went by so quick.
The only episode that felt like it took some time was probably the 4th one. I only say that because that's where the resolution was finally coming.
Yeah. It felt like 10 minutes each to me. It felt weird. Like I was watching shorts.
Yeah, it was wild because the experience for those episodes was crazy. Like I felt like the first 3, 100%, I agree with that. It was like 10 minutes. Like, man,
they could have.
Am I still in the?
Yeah, they could have not had an intro and just ran it all the way through and let the auto play.
100%,
and it would have just felt normal.
100%. this show has me excited.
Yeah.
Because it's mostly for the implications.
Mm-hmm.
It was already intense to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that changed. The intensity has always been here.
Yeah.
It's the stakes being raised
By a lot.
What was that?
I said by a lot.
Yeah.
Who do you think it is? That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say no spoilers, but who do you think it is?
What's her name? The only one I could think of was like Nanase, but it's got to be a guy, right? Because that's who they showed.
No, it could have been just somebody with big clothes on.
I feel like they used that as a placeholder to like shift the attention.
You think it's Nanase? Really?
Yeah, I don't trust nobody.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can tell you exactly who I think it is.
Who you think it is?
They got her in this list. Or do I gotta go deeper? Ichika.
Is that the girl who he cooked for?
Yep.
Yeah. That's my other choice, but the only issue is that I feel like, yes, she's smart, but I don't think that she planned that herself.
No, I think she was the only one that would, because she didn't know the other guy from Class D. They said that she just mentioned it, like, hey, no, don't get that one, use this one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna go into no detail, but I think she's moving a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Conniving to not be from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Let's see though. Let's see. All right, let's stop it because we're gonna get to fucking spoilers. All right. And then Reincarnated as a Slime. Season 4. Picked up.
Hear me.
We might be the only ones that enjoy the meetings and the shit.
They could have a no action anime, bro. I swear to God, no action at all, and I'd be happy.
It'll be my favorite thing. It's just so great. Let me see. I gotta go to Discord real quick.
I don't need no action in this show, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you.
One of the things that kind of bugged me, and I wasn't gonna mention it until the show. But where is my check? There it is. Anime wrap up.
Something bugged you as wild.
Yeah, it did. It wasn't. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just that. Dude, we got so many fucking threads.
I know, right?
That's how we do it. Make sure you join our Discord. Discord.mycheckwaifu.com. So you can be a part of the conversations that we have. There are quite a few shows that we didn't watch that have threads for them. So if you want to participate in those conversations, feel free to do. But it's for Mazer Alter. He says the animation low key bothered me for some reason, but otherwise I like the episode. I thought it looked absolutely gorgeous. Am I tripping?
Nah, I mean, I thought it was the same greatness we've been getting.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that because I'm like, wait, what? And I had to go back and flip through some of the episodes, and I'm like, it looks even better now, to be honest, than what it did in the past. But it was amazing.
I'm just gonna say this because the show for me, and I don't think it necessarily needs like a different quality. It could be the playfulness of these episodes when they're not like doing the action or directly in some kind of like, even if it's like a verbal or like a strategic altercation, right?
Yeah.
They do tone the animation down, whereas like I guess it's not as thick, it's not as dark. But for me, like I said, this could be just a base building anime, and I feel like it would be hard to compete with this with Reincarnated Slime if this is just like strictly a base builder, because what they do, how they demonstrate the movement around the capital and his town and in Tempest and how things are upgrading and changing and how we're gonna do things. It's lighthearted and fun and breathable. That's what I want to say. It's breathable. You turn it on and you just enjoy, taking everything in. And when they get to the action, they get to it and they go hard on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the action when they do action things like they pity pat and play with us. They go above and beyond.
I think it's because we prefer chess over checkers, to be honest. And I fucking find that to be the most entertaining thing about this show is the chess pieces. Like the people moving and assigning people to different things and stuff.
Right. Diablo's little implication and stuff. What he said, I was like, "Come on, brother, what?"
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? It reminds me of Overlord. And I always bring up Overlord because it's one of my favorites too. But it's one of my favorites because of the world. The world feels just as important as whatever your main character is doing or who he is. So Rimuru is he's the GOAT, obviously. But just as important as him being there is the world itself.
Right.
And that's what I love about Reincarnated as Islam the most. The world is so vast. And
you could use this one. You can use Reincarnated Islam. You can use Overlord. You can use Jobless Reincarnation. You can use Grimgar Fantasy and Ash as like an understanding point of why Polo and I might like certain anime.
Yeah.
Yes. Because if you take them as like stencils, cut them out and say, boom, what is the stripped out bare bones of this show? I feel like those are all examples as to like why we might like a show. Yeah. Even if you strip things out like really high quality sound design, which these shows do all have, great animation, which these shows all do have. That's not what brings us back. Because like I said, an episode of Overlord with no action, an episode of Jobs Reincarnation with no action, an episode of like Grimgar Fantasy and Ash with no action. The action is the heartbeat that you have while you're watching it. You know what I mean? What does your pulse do while you're watching it?
Talk about it. Tell them
that. And I feel like these shows, they have those variable moments where it's like, this is chill. Yeah. This is sad. This is interesting world building. This is the action I've been looking for.
Yep.
If you have those different variations and what your heartbeat is doing while watching this show, it's hard to say that it has weak points.
Tell them. It's amazing. Incredible. Well said, Tel. Moving on. And then I think last but certainly not least, The Angel Next Door spoils me riding too. This was my sleeper back when it came out, the first season. And it was incredible. And it's just picked up right where we left off. I said this in the Discord, but it's the first episode was so perfect that it got me worried about what the climax is going to be, what the inevitable drama is going to be. Because when something is like this in a slice of life, then that means some fucking pain and suffering is to follow. And I know this, but I honestly truly feel like maybe Crystal, but I truly feel like I know this better than anyone. There is going to be pain and suffering when you have something this good at the beginning for season 2.
Oh yeah, they can't do a Kanan after story to me. I turn all this shit off.
Yeah, dog,
I turn it all off right now.
And it hurts, but I feel like it's with it something maybe not that deep, but I mean from what we got the end of the last season, it entirely could be. Yeah, it's something coming that's going to be soul crushing. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Because I'm worried.
I'm a personally review bomb them if they do that.
That's crazy.
Cause I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Oh my gosh. All right.
What more do you want from me? Oh my god.
All right.
Shayla.
That's a Tyrese meme. Oh goodness. All right. So there is one that I have to talk about. It's a newer show since all the sequels are done. That I've instantly dropped. Could not finish the first episode. It was probably the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's called Kirio Fan Club. Is this not the one you were talking about?
I don't know. It's one I dropped. I gotta check it.
Okay. Kirio Fan Club is the creepiest, most weirdly uncomfortable shit I've ever watched. And I gotta put our guy on blast. I love him to death. He's always, listens to us and participated in the Discord and part of the show. This is TCB says, yeah, I'm sticking with this. The humor clicked with me. And he says the black hair girl is so delusional and I love it. It's hilarious to me. The other bobcat hair brunette girl is such a great foil for her, for the other. And actually my feelings for her bestie too, might have feelings for her bestie too. It ain't even about none of that. All right. I don't give a fuck about none of that. It's the fact that, okay, what this show is, Kirio Fan Club is about us, two girls who are best friends who like the same guy. They love the same guy. I mean, they're infatuated with this guy, and they're infatuated to the point where it's fucking uncomfortable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. They're talking about, saying mantras before they go to sleep to think about him, to make sure they dream about him. They're seeing his jacket on the desk at the end of the school day and start fucking basically salivating over who's going to take it to him, and like doing all this weird fucking stalkerish, strange, creepy ass and stuff that's like, it's not, I don't find any of it funny. Like none of it put a smile on my face. None of it was adorable. All of it was cringy and honestly, truthfully uncomfortable. Like it gave me Helga from Hey Arnold, but like not in that the polar opposite way. It's like they're watching this guy from a distance. I don't even think he know they exist. And they're talking about his farts or he doesn't fart. He's such a, I don't know. It's just fucking strange, dude. It's like very, 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 very strange. And it is not worth the time or effort to watch it. I would strongly suggest against it. I guess if you're into the humor that TCB is, go for it. Give the first episode a watch. I do not recommend it in the slightest. I could not even fucking finish it. They threw his jacket out of the window and they have to climb. They climb on his back to get the jacket and then they run back in. And it's just weird, man. It just feels weird. All of it feels weird and uncomfortable. And I don't think it's worth a damn at all. I'm like mad that I even have my name in this fucking thread. So every time somebody type in the thread, it's going to send me a notification in Discord because it's just that uncomfortable. It's bad. Sorry.
Okay, no. Yeah.
What was the one you did?
Cooking. I didn't even watch that. The one I had to drop today. And I don't know if you watched it. I don't even know if anybody else watched it. It's only a 6-minute episode, brother. Okay. Marika's love meter malfunction.
Okay, no, definitely not. So, yeah. Please elaborate.
I'm looking for the creator of this thing. Because I got some words. Now, here's the thing. I don't mind ecchi anime.
Oh, it's that one.
I don't even mind nudity in my anime. When the people who are nude are minors. As soon as I saw the scene, I was like, yeah, I'm dropping this.
What's it called?
Mind you, it's like Marika's love meter malfunction. So basically what happens is this guy is unlucky in love. So he like literally is wishing to the sky, to like the stars, that he can get a visual, just like in a love simulator game or dating simulator game, where he can see what people feel about him on the love meter next to them. And it immediately works. You know what I mean? The next day he gets to school and he sees everybody with love meters, and the girl he loves, or he actually wants to see her love meter, her meter is like broken and it's like dripping like out the bottom. You can't see how she actually feels for him. Needless to say, halfway through the episode, he's at a hot spring and you see nipples everywhere.
And they're kids. And
I'm just like, these are kids. So I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah,
that was enough. I don't want to. I don't really want to advertise this, but I'm just saying, I'm done.
Yikes! All right. Let's get into something we enjoyed.
Now, quite a few I enjoyed.
Let me start off with one that I enjoyed. Surprisingly.
Really?
Petals of Reincarnation.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, very surprisingly, because it seems like it is going to be a run-of-the-mill average shonen, cheap shonen, slop shonen, if you will, that you get during the season. I.e., what was that other one besides Gotcha Kuda that we got? The other one, Tonganaki.
Oh yeah, yes.
That shit. I thought it was going to be along the lines of somewhere like that. It's not. It's way more intriguing, and it's way more intriguing because it's about these guys. Very Persona 3-esque, by the way, but it's very okay. It's about a guy who wants to have a talent because he spent his entire life virtually without one. So he wants to show that he can be talented in some way. So he focuses on studying. He works hard. He tries to get as best grades he possibly can so he can get into the best school he possibly can, et cetera, et cetera. And then it kind of throws you into the world without explaining much, which already better than some shows that came out last season. And when we kind of learn about what's happening in the world, it kind of changes his life. I don't know how to explain it because it's very confusing.
Yes.
I cannot think of how to explain this weird show. It's very weird.
Basically, how it works. This is spoilers, right? But it's the first episode. You'll get it. In the first episode,
it's about reincarnation, essentially.
It's about reincarnation, but it's more about like what past lives you lived, right?
Right.
And essentially, they use this tool that will show you who you were in your past life. There are some people who will not show you. It will bring forth the powers and the energy what you were from the past life. And like the person we're dealing with, his past life was like a murderer, a serial killer. I thought he was a serial killer.
No, that's one of the guys he fight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The guy that he's fighting was a serial killer.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
So like that's the negative side of it, but then there's the positive sides where like you might get a hero, and our guy, like you said, got a thief. Which I think the interesting aspect of it is like, how do these things mix with like the current scenario?
And how do you utilize your past life's ability, basically?
Right.
It's very confusing to talk about. I think
it could be a very depth-driven thing because imagine a person might like, Lupin the Third. Lupin the Third is a huge figure in anime. They use Lupin all the time, right? So this character could be Lupin, but also imagine if they had a different person that was also
not as chivalrous,
or huge in the world. Yeah, not as chivalrous, but also just as strong or just as legendary. Those could be really cool dualities that they play.
I'm gonna be honest, it's a very confusing show to talk about. Like thinking about it right now, everything that happened is it's obscure as hell. I will say watch it for that particular reason, because once they go into it, you start to be like, oh shit. And then it gets real interesting with this right here. Okay, this is going to be spoilers for the very end of the episode. Should I say it? Because honestly, the very, very end is what hooked me. And it is his mindset when he discovers how he can utilize his ability, his thief ability. And I think that's all I'm going to say. Because the way he kind of says it and does it, it's like, yo, what the fuck? That's interesting. Because even, it's just the implications of what he's saying. It's like, yo, even, certain people could fall victim to this. So that's all I'm gonna say without going into too much spoilers. Was Petals of Reincarnation. Well, I don't see it being spectacular. It's not going to be a Hell's Paradise or Fire Force, but it's going to be much more interesting than a Scum's Wish. Or not Scum's Wish, Scum's, what was that? Scum of the Brave? Yeah, something like that. Even though it's, I feel like it's along the lines of the same category-esque than that. But I was like, damn, I'm intrigued. Okay, especially towards that end. I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Well, since we're talking about slop that we kind of liked, now mind you, just give me a moment here.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Will do.
Because, no, I don't think this is good by any means, any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. Mind you, I did read a little bit of the manga of this one. Mistress Kanan is devilishly easy.
Nah, man, that ain't slide. That's just good. That shit was adorable, man. I was watching
Bro,
this
this
one.
is slop, bro. This is not.
It is. It's slop. It's for sure slop. For sure. But
was I kind of enjoying it? I was kind of enjoying this.
So fucking adorable, man. I'm like, oh, it's adorable in kind of a weird way with you know the pseudo masochism thing that's going on in it. But it's like very light, very fun, very lighthearted. And I'm like, damn, this is adorable. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes. Go ahead.
No, you good. That's exactly, because hear me out. I was very much so infatuated with like how this altercation was going, how this interaction was going, right? Because by no stretch of the imagination should this millennia old child of a demon be this struck this heart struck by this boy who's just like, mind you, horny, and he loves the fact that, oh, this was just thrown at me, I ain't it, okay, and how he goes about it. But it's also the willingness to go like from step one to figure out what it is and how this altercation is gonna go. I was like, okay,
it's unconventional for sure.
Yeah, it's mad unconventional, but I enjoy this regardless of how it may be taken yet. Yeah,
because it's very strange because it's like it has some tasteless elements to it, but it's done tastefully. Right? Like you got these two main characters who are, again, very polar opposite. This, like Tell said, daughter of a demon who goes up to the human world because she's bored of eating, alone and eating normal fucking lamb shanks and steak and just eating wonderfully life for, like Tell said, for a millennial. She decides to go up to the human world and see if she can devour some souls. So she goes into the school as a senior, and she's basically, I'm not sure if she's a senior, she's an upperclassman to our main character, but she goes up there to basically cultivate these souls to, fatten them up to eat them later or to devour them later. And then she attempts to, say, you know what, now I think it's time for me to try out one of these souls I've been cultivating. And it just so happens that our main character seems to have a soul that is unique, and she wants to feed on them now. She attempts to, and it leads to some misunderstandings and some misquotations that is unironically hilarious to me. And like Tell said, because he's a horny adolescent, that he's just like, I'm ready for whatever, because the way she worded it, even though it was unintentional. And it's come to find out that this succubus demoness knows nothing about romance, love, or even any type of intimacy whatsoever. And right. it's just full of cute, shy, adorable, fun relationship building that I think is going to be very interesting, albeit very strange as well. And it is, Tell's absolutely right. Absolute slop. It is for sure slop.
I'm here for it. I'm sorry.
But this is one I can be here for too. Speaking of another slop show, the strongest job is apparently not a hero or sage, but an appraiser. In parentheses, provisional. This one is the first episode was rough. It was a rough one. The first episode had me like, I don't know if this is gonna make the Polo and Tail ass anime. But it has everything that you would think we would enjoy as an Polo and Tail ass anime. And then the second episode happens, and I'm like, okay, now I can see where this could go. But at first it was rough. And it's fine. It's very fine. But like very fine in the lower half of the scale.
Yeah, brother. It needed that second episode to kind of tell us where it was going to go. Yeah. But mind you, I thought it was cool when they explained like the world map and him getting out of that maze thing. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I almost wish they had like,
that was the only redeeming part about that first episode.
Yeah, it was like, I wish they had something that's more in depth with explaining, something. I don't even know what they could have explained, because the show just didn't have a lot of like
anything, to be honest.
Meat to it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I as well see where it can go, but this is one that could very easily fall to the wayside.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna give it that 3 though.
Yeah. I'm probably 2 more since it gave us 2 in the beginning.
Yeah, true. Consider that first one like an hour and then go from there.
Yeah.
You got to.
Now, this wasn't my favorite episode this week, but I really, 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 really enjoyed this episode. I don't know if Polo watched it. I hope he did. It's called Akane Banashi.
Yeah, of course I watched it. Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I don't know what Polo feel about it, but this was one of my favorite episodes this week. I thought this was artistically beautiful. And the direction that we get in this show, this initial introduction to the show felt... I was amazed, personally. I was amazed by the delivery and what we get going on in this show. Essentially what it is that our MC is watching as her father is going to undertake this trial or this promotion ceremony to become, is it Shinuichi?
Yep.
No, it's something like that. I'm not exactly what. Shinuchi.
Which is a tradition of storytelling in the Japanese culture.
Which when they really get into like the moments of how our character or how this character is doing the acting and representing the different roles and whatnot, like visually, the motions felt like, okay, I could see how in depth this actually is, how this person is moving their hands, moving their body, their facial reactions are changing. And I was like, man, this is amazing. This is great. I'm very interested in how this show portrays itself because I feel like it has to be very intricate in a lot of minor details to be good. And not so intricate on some of the larger overarching details.
So you think of it like this, as for anybody that's not in Japanese culture. And this is an example or an idea that I got in my head that it reminded me of as I watched it. It's like the comedian world, right? So the comedian world, you have comedians like Eddie Murphy, which are storytellers. They tell these stories that lead into different things that, have punchlines and part of their comedy is telling this story in a funny way that lead to an end that fucking crescendos to something beautifully told. And it's like, oh shit, he brought that around. Eddie Murphy's top tier for that. Delirious, raw, etc. Then you got the comedians that are the punchlining comedians that are just, punchline, punchline, punchline. And you have crowd work. This is basically that storytelling comedian in the realm of the Japanese culture, which obviously there's much more to it than that. But that's just what I thought of when I was watching it. And when I say, when you take our review scale for Mic Check Waifu, which maybe we don't go into it this week because it's already an hour-long episode. But when you take our review scale and you just base it off of one episode, this episode was a 10 out of 10 for me. Characters, art, animation, everything was 10 out of 10 as far as everything.
That's my brother right there. That's my brother. The
only problem is that it came out on fucking YouTube, and YouTube compresses the hell out of anything you watch. 1080p, 4K, it don't matter what it is. It's compressed to all hell. It's only not compressed if you're watching it in 4K, which they didn't have the option, unfortunately. So it is terribly compressed, so you don't get to see the beautiful effects that this show was trying to portray because it's on YouTube. If it was on Netflix or even Crunchyroll, oh my God, it would have been so beautiful, so beautiful. But it was honestly a 10 out of 10 for its pacing, its character, everything was 10 out of 10. I loved everything about that first episode. It was absolutely perfect of a first episode. Okay. To piggyback off of that, I think because it's my sleeper is the only one that came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
So to piggyback off of that, which is my sleeper, where is it?
Your sleeper is it the Ramparts of Ice?
No, it's that would have been my sleeper, but Crystal picked it, so I chose something else. And it is Haibara's Teenage New Game Plus.
Yes.
Yeah. This is This is probably my episode of the week this week. And the reason for it being my episode of the week this week, because again, for me, on a scale of our scale, another 10 out of 10 episode. It was beautiful to look at. Now, mind you, it was on Crunchyroll, so that's probably why it didn't look all compressed. But the pacing of it was brilliant. The storytelling was absolutely brilliant. And then the characters so far got me intrigued as to see where these characters grow and go from there. And it was so endearing and sweet to see this. And then now I'm ready to know how he navigates the situation. So this is about a student, or a guy actually, who basically who failed in his teenage years, who became just this. He was in his teenage years. He was overweight. He was very
poor social skills.
Yeah, poor social skills. It seems, it alleges. We didn't really get to see it per se because it looks like they're going to be flashbacking during the season. But it's poor social skills. You know, he was bigger, on the bigger side, etc. And he just wasted his high school life. We don't know the necessarily conflict yet, but it basically turned into him being a solo person his entire high school career, and he was regretting every last bit of it in his adulthood. And in his adulthood, he was just reminiscing on he could have done better, he should have done better, and I actually felt like he was truthfully regretful for how he handled his adolescence. And I feel like that was such an important piece of what this episode showed. It does the thing that my teen romantic comedy Snafu did, or, where it talks in monologue and you could feel the emotion and how visceral it meant to him. And then when he went back, he ended up, going to sleep and waking up, and he's back in his past right after middle school, graduating middle school and going into high school. And now he's going to relive or remake his life. And so far, it was endearing. It was wonderful.
Yeah, brother immediately went back and he got in his bag and said, okay.
Yep.
I'm not redoing this the way we did it last time.
Yep.
And it was everything was very thoughtful. He knew exactly where he failed at, because in the beginning of the show, he kind of is reminiscing about his failures, right?
Yep.
And that is obviously someone who's an overthinker. He's constantly overthinking every little failure he did. So when he goes back, even in the moments where he's like, he knows that he's remaking his life, so to speak. Yeah. He's in front of the class and they know he's going to do his like debut thing, right? Everyone, how does he introduce himself? How does he come off to everybody? He thinks about what he initially did, and he was like, yep, you're not doing that. Where even though you think about it, after he's already kind of done a somewhat successful high school debut, he probably could have put it off now.
Yeah.
Right? But he's not willing to risk it. And I think that's an important thing that they introduce in this show already, which is just like he probably could have pulled it off now, but he's not willing to risk it to make sure his social standing, and he doesn't have those same shortcomings and failures. And
even just when you mature, you realize like, why would I need to do any of that anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just the way you carry yourself in general. It's just like, and unironically, one of the number one recommendations for this show is re-life. It's virtually the same thing. Like where you like, why would I need to go back and over commit to a personality that is just not me? And that's what I feel like is going to be the crux of this entire season. And I think it's truly special so far. It seems fun. Interested to see what this the drama going to be in this one too.
Yes. The Ramparts of Ice. Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course.
This was another one of my favorite episodes this week. I don't know, brother. This was just, to me, this was too good. It's the slice of life. I love these characters already. And I love what I feel like they're going to be for each other. And it's the level of, I'm going to say, humanity. Mostly because, and let me just click on this so I can get the names of the actual characters. It's mostly because Hikawa is seemingly she's experienced something.
Yeah.
She's experienced this trauma of being teased and feeling bullied, and having this tough exterior that is making people feel like she is cold or uncomfortable to them, even when it's completely misunderstood, completely misread, and it's kind of like unfair, but it's like you are coming off cold. You don't see this for yourself on how you're coming off, right?
Yeah.
But it's the misconceptions of others when they see those things without asking further questions, without getting more details. They're not paying attention to what's actually happening. And then we have a character like Amamiya, who is seemingly paying attention to the smaller details, the finer things, and saying, and it was him, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And saying, I feel like she just put up a wall. And to me, that set the show off. I was like, oh my God. I think I'm going to love this show. I know it's such a petty thing, but I feel like that alone, I was like, yeah, this is going to be one of my favorite shows this season, easy.
This one was fine. It was fine. It was good. It didn't make the splash it made on you on me, because I feel like it was very much so a somewhat hand-holdy kind of show. What I mean by that is it was very predictable and straightforward and everything you've seen before in these kind of shows. Like there's no standout piece to it yet. However, it does feel like it's going to build more so on like friendships, but it reminds me of it. Yeah, boom. The second recommendation from me to you it's just that to me again. But in a little bit different way, right? Like she felt like she was just scary and ugly from me to you, while she just is ice cold. But it's the same premise. It's almost the exact same premise with a guy who's very friendly and open to everybody, not just her, but everybody who wants to be more friendly with her. It's formulaic so far. Like I've again seen it 100 times. So while I don't think it's going to be bad, I also think it was just that it was good. You know, it was good. It was really good actually, but it didn't blow my socks off.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it necessarily blew my socks off, but I felt like this show definitely is going to be one of my favorites this season. Yeah. Mind you, it still is not my favorite episode this week.
Yeah, super okay.
Yeah.
Did you watch Always a Catch?
I did not watch Always a Catch.
Okay, so
I do have to watch that. I saw that you watched that. I meant to watch that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. This one for me too also didn't wow me, because the main character is kind of grating. Because she just feels like one of those characters that's just like in the way. Like sit down. It's about it's about this noble family who basically has a late son heir who sends their daughter away to find a husband, and her goal is to find a suitable match for her in her best friend's basically sphere of influence. Essentially, her best friend is slated to marry the crown prince, I guess. And it seems like her best friend isn't quite happy with it. And it starts with this relationship being established. But this girl that, the main character, she's very brass and bombastic and tough and tomboyish and very strong. And she's just very, just like not ladylike. Wow, her best friend is the most noble of noble ladies. And they kind of smack it in your face how much of a lady she is and how much of a tomboy she is. And it's a nice little back and forth. It's adorable, whatever. But then when you start to see that her best friend really seems like she likes the second prince, and the second prince likes her, but she was forced to be engaged to the first prince, and she's unhappy about it because the first prince doesn't seem to really like her that much, because the first prince is very gullible and seems to be getting jerked around by this other noble lady who is her rival, essentially, when it comes to this particular prince. And this long story short, it gets very interesting at the very end of the episode. The very end of the episode, and I'm not going to spoil what happens, is what got me to then want to keep watching. Because at first I'm like, I don't know if I could deal with this main character for 12 episodes. But then in the end, when the main character do what she does at the very end, I'm like, okay, now I'm here for it. Now I want to see what happens. Now I want to see where this goes. It looks like it's starting to open up to be something more romantic that I would be more inclined to enjoy opposed to what I was getting at first. Because I thought it was just going to be this tough girl act who then gets chased around by this prince, which I've seen before, but it don't turn out to be good. But it is changing that formula up a bit, and I'm intrigued. Very much so.
Yes. I'm gonna add to my list. Hopefully, it sticks around, and we'll see.
All right, sir.
What else did you watch, bro?
That's it. We can go to your favorite episode.
Well, real quick, Demons of the Shadow Realm.
Okay.
Demons of the Shadow Realm. It was cool. I'm not gonna say I hate it. It started off immediately with a kick. And by that I mean like they introduce all the characters that you're gonna deal with. Are you gonna watch this one at all?
I did watch it.
Oh. So okay. So it kind of started off with a kick. And basically we have Yuru, who is essentially
what you think about it? People know what it is. What you think about it?
Oh, okay, y'all watched it. It's cool. I don't feel any strong ties to it yet. And that's mostly just because I feel like it's gonna fall. It could very easily fall into the shonen that we normally see. But I will also say this. I hate feeling like I've already seen this before. And that's kind of what I feel like I'm watching.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You and I are the polar opposites. Because how I feel about Ramparts of Ice is how you feel about this. And how you feel about Ramparts of Ice is how I feel about this. I found this to be fucking incredible. I think it was great. I think it was fucking fun. I'm watching this shit, and I ain't want to say nothing. I ain't want to tee it off to anybody in the Discord, but I was getting ready to fucking type a paragraph in that Discord. I'm like, you know what? You know what? What is so intriguing about this is that it has something to intrigue me by. I know nothing that's going on. I know fucking nothing. And guess what? Yeah. They didn't explain anything. And guess what? I am intrigued. I am here for it. I love what I'm seeing so far because of, is she from the future? Is she from the past? Is the girl fake? Is she not real? It's just so many questions that I have. Why is this place isolated so much to the point where they need a barrier to hide it? Who are these daemons and what are they about? Our main character don't know nothing about the daemon, know nothing about the daemons, but some people do, and they don't explain it to us until we don't know until the main character knows, and that's fucking incredible. I absolutely loved everything about this, including the very end, the character design, which is going to be the cover art of this episode because that shit looks so fucking cool to me. I am ecstatic about this. I'm like, yo, I am here for it because the implications I feel like there's so much attaching me to this because I'm like, did his best friend's mother make it? I care about that. Like, this fucking chomp thing just literally destroyed this little girl's like, it was all so fucking insane that I'm like, this is how you start a show. You don't overindulge. You don't under-explain. You don't fucking hold my hand throughout the entire thing. Got you, Kuda. You don't do all this bullshit that you feel like that you need to do for people who got TikTok brain. And they do none of it. It was so effortlessly done because his fucking daemons look so cool too, dude. I just can't. Yeah. I need more. I agree with that. I need more.
So I wholeheartedly agree with the daemons thing. I think those do look really cool. And the fact they always come in pairs. And I feel like we've only seen the one, because they said they always come in pairs, right?
Yeah, they always come in pairs. So the girl who had Chomp Chomp was two different sets of teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do think it's interesting. I want to see where it goes. But like I said, I feel like how you were saying Ramparts of Ice is formulaic. This feels formulaic to me.
Yeah.
This feels like I've seen this 1,000 times.
I can get why you would say that because you've seen it 1,000 times probably.
Like even down to the like the characters' attitude types and stuff like that. But I will say this. I had the same thoughts. It's like they're talking about a dragon. I'm like, when you see the
airplane.
The airplane. Before they fully showed the airplane, you just see the smokestacks
Smoke
coming
trails,
from the airplane. I was like, okay, that looks like an airplane.
Yeah, I was about to say like, oh, I thought we were in the past. Yeah.
This seems like the past, and then they zoom in. It's like that's not a dragon. That's an airplane. That's not a dragon. That's a helicopter. What the hell are y'all talking about? So yes, that is an interesting fact in here.
Bruh.
But I do still gotta say, bro, I'm not 100% sold yet. I
am fucking dude. I am so into. I'm sorry. I gotta get here. I'm sold too for the simple fact is like you said, with the airplane and then them being in the past, they still have horses, bows, etc., etc. But then somebody who looks just like his sister comes in and says, "I'm right here. We're going to kill them all." Wait, but why? Is this place the past and you're in the present? What? And it's just when they came through with the helicopters, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? What is going on? That is so much more intriguing than anything I've seen from Sentenced to be a Hero or
I'm not even trying to.
I'm blown away. I am blown away already by the implications of what the story could be. And we don't know nothing. I feel better about this than I did like Sentenced to be a Hero. All right, that's we can establish that. Of course.
Here's my thing, right? Boom. And mind you, this is just how my mind's working, and I could be entirely wrong. But like I said, I feel like I've seen it before. The barrier is set up. She got outside the barrier and found out the world really was different than what they had been living all this time. She feels like they've been holding them hostage because she found out what he really is or what they really do, and she hates it, so now she's fighting back. Dude has clearly been supplanted or implanted into their little village that is seemingly in the past. I feel like it's just they're gonna uncover the truth, and then that's gonna be them moving forward. I have no idea. But to me, I just feel like as we go on, it's going to be so like obvious to read. And I could be entirely wrong. But that's just my feeling.
You know what it is too? You gotta, and I don't know how you feel about Shonen, but this is how I feel about Shonen, me personally. And this is how I personally objectively view it. Mm-hmm. You gotta feel like you want to see the main character win. I don't give a fuck about seeing Asta win. I don't give a fuck about seeing anybody from Fairy Tail win. I don't give a fuck about seeing anybody from Sentenced to be a Hero win. I don't give a fuck about seeing anybody from these truly basic, hand-holdy, terrible characterized shows. This, I want to see him win in every stretch of the word, period, point blank.
But I don't know.
And then that's what I'm saying. From this little bit enough, I know he's about his family. I know he's about protecting his little sister. I know he's about getting his little sister to see the world out from that mountain. That is enough for me to want to see you win. With that being it alone and me wanting to see you win because of that, I'm here for it.
But here's what throws me for a loop, right? Because I agree with everything you just said. Those are things I love. Those are things that draw me in. But when Asa come through the room and kill Asa,
right.
Hold up. Whose side am I on here? I don't know. And I'm still on his side.
That's what makes it great.
In the dark, right?
Yeah.
He's still in the dark, right? I feel that.
You ain't hold my hand.
Who's winning here? I don't know necessarily whose side to be on. And I'm okay with that per se, because there should be a duality, right?
Yes.
But
that's exactly right.
I don't feel like they set us up to 100% just say, because
they don't have your hand. They're not holding your hand. So you want them to say, okay, this is why I'm here. This is what we're going to do. This is our goal. They're not doing that yet. They're going to let us know when we need to know. And that's what makes it so good. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying though? Like, that's what makes it.
Because as of right now, I feel like I'm on Asa, who killed Asa's side.
Yeah, like you don't fucking know. Like I don't know. But again, because we don't know, that's why we want to know.
I feel like I saw a dude, he ran and he got the earpiece on, talking about some gotta escape before they find me. I was like, okay, so he was helping, but is he really trustworthy?
Exactly right.
I don't know.
Exactly right.
I feel like I'm on Asa's side, who killed Asa.
And that's exactly why it makes it so good. Because your thought process right there got me even more excited. Awesome, man. That shit was great. I thought they was going to say that was your episode of the week. I'm shocked.
Nah. My episode, the episode I really liked more than anything was the Nippon Songaku, the Three Nations of the Crimson Sun.
Okay, that is Daddy's the Talk Sleeper.
I think that opening episode was crazy. Artistically, from the artistic standpoint of it alone,
that shit makes me want to itch. I hate that.
I feel you. That shit was my favorite. The willingness to switch colors and create different contrasts and levels to coincide with what they were trying to demonstrate. Then you get to the actual story, which pissed me off at the same time.
But in a good way, like it was emotionally.
Yeah,
engaging.
Emotionally, yes, but it still pissed me off because it's like, brother. Because hear me out when I say this. You know how like you said, Akane Banashi would have been like a 10 on the mic check waifu scale.
Yeah.
This would have been like a 9.8 for me, and I say that because I gotta take off a 0.5 for a character in this first episode because the husband not doing what he needed to do when his wife stood up to fight. Nah, brother. Mind you, everybody got their strong suits. I understand. But that was the only part that somewhat bothered me. But it led to, and I'll say it was, once again, this word has been a thing, a little formulaic, because you can see that when she said initially, you need some courage, that it was going to lead to this point of this episode. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay. Basically what happens is they give us the explanation as to what happened. Nuclear war, and it's led to the separation of Japan, where there's these three major factions. Our main character, Aitoru Misumi, and his wife, who basically his father-in-law says, she right off the bat, she shows up in a dress and she's just straight up like, he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, she tells him, I'm just in a dress and it's just for no other reason than boom. She just says straight up, we're getting married. Everybody pops up and they get married. Her father says, you know, I appreciate you and I want you to take care of my daughter going forward. This guy, he is an agricultural specialist. He knows everything about agriculture, growing crops, everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. He is so well diverse in agriculture and the land of where he is that he's amazing, but he's also well read on like how these things work agriculturally, and it's given him insight to war. His wife immediately recognizes that and says, you should join the warlord because you could definitely be in a high position and help establish a place for everybody in Japan. And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I think that we should let those people do what they're doing, essentially. And he kind of backs down. He's very tempered, and I'm not gonna say complacent, but what he wanted to do was just ever since he got married to her was just set up a stable, regular life. He wanted a normal, regular life, and she is very like for the people. She sees something wrong, she's got to say something. She's got to do something. She moves when she sees evil, and basically his name is Denki. Denki is the one acting as a state lord, and he's taxing. And immediately his first entry into the village, he says he kills somebody. He says them everyone pull him. They separate him, tie ropes to him, and pull him apart within 30 seconds of him being in the village. Yeah. Not the main character, but just a random civilian who was in the way, bumped into him, didn't like it. But then one of his counterparts is walking through the village and he's taxing people. I need 10 coins, and then I need two coins for service fee because I'm here in person. That kind of stuff. So 12 coins for everybody who runs into his our main character Arturo, his wife Saki. She sees what's going on and she runs up on him and says, yeah, you can't do that. And he swings on her and she immediately just martial arts him down. Boom. Chop him, kick his leg down, fold him up, and then ask him, basically says, was this your own doing or did you do it because of that fatso? And he says, no, I did this myself. I didn't do it because of the state lord or whatever. And boom, walks away. They walk away and wake up in the morning and he sees a trail of blood in the snow. It's his wife.
Oh,
They beheaded his wife. Put her head in the box. Said, "Hey, we was bringing this to you." He said, "Hey, we was bringing this to you," and he basically, instead of losing his temper because he thought about how he could pull off killing these people, instead of losing his temper, he uses his knowledge and his information to basically say, just so you know, the man here who you've brought here to behead my wife, this is what he said. And he fills in that, like, my wife never once called you a fatso, which is why you came to kill my wife. You came to kill my wife because you said that she called you a fatso. My wife never said you were a fatso. She said it. He implied that you were talking about him. So he's like, oh, so you think I'm fat? Kills him. Nonsense. Petty, right? But we can see that he's going to use his wits to essentially attack and join the militia to fight against the evil of this world. And I'm telling you, I was heartbroken, but I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what's to come next.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna just say
it's a beautiful episode, brother.
The reason why we do it the way we do it is because this is how we get people to build their list. Maybe that sounded interesting to you, maybe it didn't. To me, it sounded interesting enough for me to want to add it to the list, so I got it in the list. Now, damn, I wish you wouldn't have told me about the wife though. That would have been a nice surprise, but but I am still gonna watch it just to see where it goes from there. I'm intrigued. The art style, I just watched the trailer, and it's not JoJo's bad, so I can definitely handle this.
It's not JoJo's bad. It's like, imagine
it's a little JoJo's-y, but
tone down Lord of Mysteries a lot and give it thicker lines.
Yeah, yeah. It's more so that. So I'm gonna give it a watch.
Because JoJo's got the really thick, unnecessary lines.
And this girl, dude, I hate the way JoJo draw black people. I swear to God, it's just like, it reminds me of very much of the old
caricatures.
Caricatures.
You hate how they draw black people. I hate how they draw people in general.
Yeah, that's it's true. Maybe everybody. Maybe it is everybody, but black people specifically with the big old lips, and it's just, I just don't like it. I don't like it.
They be doing us dirty. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very.
It's somebody out there who love it. Just ain't me.
It ain't me either. It ain't me either. All right, yeah, I'm definitely adding that to the list. That's added for sure.
Mao was cool.
Huh?
Mao, the Inuyasha remake.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, you ain't never get me to touch that shit. I don't give a fuck. Hey, no way in hell I'm touching Mao. Somebody said, I saw on Threads, because I accidentally opened that app for some reason. But I saw on Threads somebody say, Mao has Inuyasha written all over it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really more of a reason for me not to fucking touch it. Yeah, can't do it. Anyway, I think that's it though, right?
Yeah.
Everything else drops next week. It is an hour and 22 minutes into the show. Now we can do one or two things.
Yes.
We can save the review for next week.
You
can do the review now.
I'm ready to do the review. I can understand if you're tired, but I'm ready to do the review. Now, this is a long episode.
Episode.
I'm going to be real with you. Brother. We got...
Our reviews aren't short. And it's not that I'm tired. I'm not tired at all. I could still keep going. The thing is that I want to give it its just due.
Okay.
And what I mean by that,
that's fair,
is that, I know where our drop off time is on the podcast. And normally when we go above about an hour 20, an hour 30, it gets a little drop offy. And I don't think General with Wish just deserves that much.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we got 17 episodes next week.
Yeah.
At least I got. But we can be a little bit quicker.
Oh, plus everything that came out already. Plus, okay. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Plus ReZero come back next week.
Oh shit.
We're gonna have to make it a little bit more concise next week.
Yes.
And then we'll do the review next week. So I'm sorry for y'all.
Yes, we got to do the review next week. But I do feel like it needs more than just being
respect. Yeah, I agree.
Tossed at the back of this episode. So with that being said, I'm at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
Make sure you come back next week for our review of Journey with Witch in our continuation of the spring season. Because it's starting off with a bang. And I can't wait to talk about Wistoria, fucking ReZero, Farming Life in Another World 2. I'm excited for that. There's so many shows that I'm excited for to talk about. So come back next week. But as always, Mike, check.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu.